Straight first question. Did your party leader, Mamata Banerjee, know what was coming in the budget or not?
Very difficult to know, or very difficult to say what she knew and what she didn't know. I really can't answer that question because one has to read her mind, and I'm not very good at that.
No, I'm asking a very simple question. Did you tell her that you were going to raise, there would be a passenger fare hike or not?
You see, what happens when we take oath before taking our office, we have to take an oath and which people watch and see. And these kind of thing is very sacred to me. And I stick by that. And I do whatever is required to be done. So I don't disclose what I'm not supposed to be disclosing.
So you didn't discuss it? Did she tell you?
But at the same time, my life is quite an open book, which my wife also knows. And I have been talking about what I should be doing for the railways. And it was not as if it suddenly happened. And I've been telling that railway needs money. Where do I get the money? Either the government gives me the money, or I have to generate on my own. And I think this was a foregone conclusion. I think people, even the passengers, would have been disappointed and surprised if I had not done this, raising the fare. And that's what I did. So I don't think so. This should have come as a big, huge surprise to anybody. Otherwise, tell me, even there are projects in Bengal which are pending. How do I allot money for the projects in Bengal? How do I allot money for safety? So I think this is a rational and logical thing. But logic and rationality sometimes don't work in politics, no?
Do you mean they don't work in politics or they don't work in your party?
My party is also part of politics.
Very well, then they don't work, sadly. Now, you said that you're there to raise money, but you needed 100,000 crores, according to the Sam Pitroda committee. What is 2,000 or 3,000 crores going to sort out? Why didn't Pranab Mukherjee, who saw the budget as finance minister, he has a legitimate right to see the budget, why did he not infuse 10,000 crores?
No,
did you ask for it?
No, I had asked for 45,000 crore. I'm very generous when I have to ask for things, But they didn't give me. If today Pranab Mukherjee or the government says that, hey, Dinesh, look here, this fare rise is going to give you 4,000 crore. Here is 4,000 crore. Roll it back. I have no problem as long as the money comes. But MJ, I must tell you, there is a credibility of the railway itself involved. How long can you keep on raising the freight? How long? There is a threshold. Beyond this, if I raise the freight, it's going to be counterproductive, and the freight is going to move to roadways. And then what will happen? Rail will come to a standstill. And you ask me that I need a huge sum. If you read my budget speech, I myself have said, it's a tall order, but I have to begin somewhere. And that is what I said, that this year I'm going to do this, next year this. The whole 5-year plan is out there. So I have gone logically and rationally. But then I told you in the beginning, logics and rationality don't work in politics.
The government, the finance ministry in the budget itself, is quite liberal about subsidies. In fact, it believes that subsidy is the shortest way to a voter's heart. Why could monies not be allotted to railways, which, as you yourself said, will go the way of Air India if it is not saved?
See, I truly believe, and I'm sure this great audience with a lot of acumen in business understand, if India has to grow, it just cannot grow without the basic infrastructure, which is the railways. Indian Railway has to grow for India to grow. And I have been telling that while India is the engine of growth for the world now, Indian Railway is the engine of growth for India. And if you do not want to get railways as the engine of growth, then I'm afraid India will not grow. And your railway will only remain as a carrot. That, okay, you have got so many MPs, I'm going to give you railways. Railway cannot be treated as somebody's personal property. We have to be custodian. Right? And,
That was a fine-
I see that, and it burns my heart. And I said, here is an opportunity for me to do whatever I should be doing. Not that I was not aware what's going to happen after this. I was quite aware. And doesn't matter. How does it matter? I mean, ठीक है, if I would not have raised the fare, I would have just gone along like most of us do in politics. What would have happened? I would have remained a minister. So, how does it matter? This great audience wouldn't have clapped, no?
Very excellent answers, except that they didn't answer the question I asked. Why
Bit of
didn't
politics.
Pranab Mukherjee, as finance minister, allot from the nation's resources funds to begin the repair and reconstruction of the railways?
His answer was he didn't have the money. And I said, you generate the money. I think he had some, which I really cannot answer for him. I can only tell you that I asked for it, which is very much on record, and he said, I can't do it.
So will you get the money only on the Air India principle, that only when you go bankrupt, then the government will provide?
No, if you have good calendars, then you can get it for that also.
The government, therefore, has no money for railways. Priority, quote, Bengal responsibility. The government has no money for Bengal, which is Mamata Banerjee's peeve. Do you agree that the government is being unfair to Bengal?
You see, at the end of the day, I could have gone to town and say, look here, finance minister is unfair to the railways. I didn't do that because nobody will help you if you don't help yourself. So you have got to help yourself. And how did I help myself? By generating my own resource. If you generate your own resource and if you are capable, then people will help. Tomorrow, if your railway is healthy, which I can tell you we are quite capable, Warren Buffetts of the world will come and invest on Indian railways. I guarantee you that.
How long would you take to make the railways healthy?
How long?
Yeah, I mean, here we are talking about
Visibly,
availability of 3,000
I'm
crores,
telling-
requirement of 45,000 or 100,000 crores. In practical terms, how long would you take?
I'm telling you. You know what I did? We have more than 1 lakh track kilometers, okay? I have not taken the entire 1 lakh track kilometers. What I did, I said, hey, come, let's see which is the high density, where most of the traffic and most of the fare and freight and all moves. It is only 19,000 track kilometers where 80% of the traffic, where the passenger or freight moves. So my task has become easier that I have cut the cake to only 19,000 kilometers. And to answer your question, within 5 years, I can tell you, if you follow this roadmap, I don't have to follow. Dinesh Trivedi doesn't have to follow. I have given the roadmap. If you follow this roadmap, between Calcutta and Delhi, your Rajdhani will take only 12 hours and you will have a very safe, neat, clean, a system without cockroaches, without rats, and absolutely a most efficient railway system, visibly in 5 years, I guarantee.
So, the rats and the cockroaches.
Now it may stay.
Sorry? I didn't get that.
I said, now it may stay.
Right, but when did they arrive? Did they arrive when Mamata Banerjee was railway minister?
I did not know you wanted my job tonight.
I'm asking you as simple. The rats, if they are there, must have come sometime. Did they come under Mamata Banerjee? Did they come under Lalu Yadav?
No, to be
Did
fair,
they come before that?
No, to be fair, you know, the population is growing and now it has become a breeding place and nobody bothers about it. Because, you know, you had a choice, and which I said in my budget speech also, that I have a choice for just get the system dragging or go for a generational change. I chose a generational change. And that's what I think anybody with a little sensible mind would have done that. So it's not a rocket science that you can't get rid of this. I've been talking to people in Singapore, SATs. I've been talking to people in Europe who supply to Eurostars for catering. Because catering, what you get is the final product. You require base kitchen, you require trolleys. Why can't we have trolleys like we have up in the air? I wanted to change the station to look like airports. It's a different story that today airports look like stations, but we could easily do. But for that, you require to work. And I tell you, we have a very good professional board. Today, 14 lakh employees have written to the Prime Minister that we must follow this. I think it's unprecedented. Because they understand if you don't do it, tomorrow they'll not get their salary.
So, Dinesh, would you say that the Prime Minister would be utterly irresponsible if he changed you?
Sorry?
Louder. So, would you say, would the Prime Minister be utterly irresponsible if he changed you?
And I'm not being philosophical. I'm telling you very honestly. I have done my piece. I don't need to think for others. And others have to be also accountable to the country. I can only tell you one thing. We had this dear Mr. Raja. I'm sure you've heard. Not D. Raja of CPI. The Raja who, you've heard of Raja, no? Telecom and all. Once upon a time.
Anyone hasn't heard of Raja?
Once upon a time, there was a Raja, that sort of thing, you know. Now, Raja, everybody knew what he was, right? It took the Supreme Court to sack Raja. The system did not sack him. For doing all the wrong things, and rightly, the Supreme Court sacked him. And today you have a situation where a person, and I think the kind of messages I think I have not done anything wrong. I have perhaps done the right thing. For doing a right thing, they want that I should be sacked tonight only. So I leave it to the society. It is not my call. I don't care. It's the society has to care.
Why are you transferring the blame to society when it is the political leadership which is creating this crisis?
No, political leadership works on pressures, okay? I mean, government would not have spoken to Anna Hazare if there was no pressure from the society. And today, communication is very fast. And I think it's not my trial. Today, I'm not on trial at all. I think it is system is on trial. I think it'll be very difficult for Pradhan Mantri to take a decision to sack me. Because system is on trial. Dinesh Trivedi is not on trial. If I'm set free, I will go with Nandan Nilkani and go and play a game of golf. You know, I enjoy my life. I'll listen to music. How does it matter to me? I'll teach you golf, Nandan, don't worry. Honestly, don't you see I'm so relaxed? I have done my bit. The pressure is somewhere else now. Let them fight over. Let Bengal say today, let Pranab Mukherjee say after the budget, doesn't matter to me. Choice is yours, whatever you want to do.
And now, I think the moment has to come to introduce your potential successor. Those who know Bengal politics have heard of Mukul Roy. Would you like to raise your eyes a little more?
I can only say God help.
Sorry?
God help.
Yes. Please, Dinesh Trivedi, he's still the Railways Minister, that his potential successor, the name being advocated by Mamata Banerjee, we who know a little bit of Calcutta politics will understand this. I think he says, God help. Therefore, once again, is this government being irresponsible with the national property, national institutions? How can it, something as huge, phenomenal as the railways, it is the largest employer, it is the largest institution in the country. How can you be responsible with this? Then how can you be trusted with any form of government?
I think, MJ, the time has come in which I said in my budget speech also, that railway must have a national policy. With the change of a minister or a government, your policy cannot change because we are playing with fire. And I can tell you, I'm truly worried and concerned about safety. Honestly, I'm concerned.
Would you like to amplify that? Because I think that is an extremely serious concern. Safety, are you saying that the tracks, for example, have reached a point of decay where it is essentially unsafe to travel?
I wouldn't panic, but the fact is, it does require total restructuring. You require a system signaling change. We are almost about 50 years behind China. And if you are supposed to be having a vision to become a world power or superpower, I think you try to be a superior power first and then talk about the superpower.
China has built a train up to Tibet, up to Lhasa, considered one of the great engineering marvels of the age. We can't build a train up to Darjeeling?
We are capable, I must tell you, and I can repeat that my railway, the entire board, all the employees are next to RB. They are fantastic people. I'm not telling just because they are supporting me, don't take me that. But they are good professional guys. But you cannot do if you do not have a roadmap, if you do not have resources. If I have to change the signaling system, today what happens? The loco pilots, and I know flying, so I know what stress is all about. And if you are fatigued, if you are led to work 14 hours, so you have to be rested. And it is today more difficult to drive a loco than to fly a plane. Every minute you have to be on the lookout of a signal. Why can't we have a system where even if the signal is red and the loco pilot forgets to put on the brakes, the automation will come into being and the brakes will be applied automatically. It's not a rocket science anymore. TPWs, that's what I talked in my budget. And you can lay it down in a period of a maximum 2 years. All your 19,000 kilometers would be that. But for that you need money. Where will you get money from? I don't think so. There's nothing called a free lunch.
Nothing called a free finance ministry either.
In politics, we like to have free lunches, but they come during election times, not all the time.
Now tell me, not a very hypothetical situation, if you are replaced and somebody else from TMC becomes the railway minister and there is a rollback on prices, which is the issue, will you vote against your own budget?
You see, at the end of the day, I'm a disciplined soldier, okay? I can just flag an issue, right? And I'm not a single player in democracy. Democracy is of the people, by the people, for the people. And I'm telling you, I'm not throwing the ball there. I have done my bit, now it's your turn to do it. If you roll back, then you roll back on safety also. So, okay, you're going as a passenger, we are safe, but not quite. So you take a call, have a greater insurance coverage. Maybe your family will be better off.
Is the century on?
No, he's on 100, he's done it. 100th,
Okay.
100 done for Sachin. Can we
Sachin
have
has
some
done
live
his
footage,
100.
please?
See,
Following hot on your tracks, Mr. Trivedi, there's Sachin.
I did not know I could inspire Sachin also sitting here.
Sachin's captain is not Mamata Banerjee. Just one last question, which is, you began your political career as a rebel in the company of VP Singh. Is that the spirit that is still fermenting?
No, I am not a rebel. I do whatever I should do. That's it. And I have not done with any kind. I never even realized that it will have such a big, huge response. But I must tell you, I'm touched, I'm humbled by all the support I'm getting from people. And that's what India is all about. If you do a right thing, which I think I have done, people are there to support you.
Absolutely
Thanks.
right.